This video is sponsored by the Foggy Dew, Dublin's legendary pub, located beside the Central Bank and Temple Bar. Come in for great nights, pints and supporting metal. Shout out to our other sponsor, Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty from the Smashing Skull Sessions. I'm joined by Benjamin and Tobias from Hammok. Guys, how you doing?
Hey,
Doing very good. Happy to be here.
yeah,
Good. Thanks for taking the time out of your, looks like evening over there in Norway.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
Very good, very good. And I hope I pronounced that right, Hammok.
Yeah, you're pretty spot on.
Perfect.
We've heard a lot of different versions of that name throughout the years, but that's a pretty good one.
What's the worst one you've heard?
Hamcock, that's the first one I've heard.
yeah.
We've seen that a couple of times.
I think it was spelled in a festival lineup somewhere.
No, it wasn't in the official lineup. It was in the the call sheet that you kind of get for your loading time. And instead, I think they spelled our name three different ways in the same sheet, which is insane. So yeah, I think that's what they were thinking.
Someone with severe dyslexia sounds like.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, welcome to the podcast. To the listeners who maybe haven't heard of you guys before, could you introduce yourself and your role in the band?
Yeah, go ahead,
Uh,
Tobias.
yeah, I'm Tobias. I sing and I play guitar.
And I'm Benjamin. I play bass, and we are missing the drummer, which he's at work. So me and Tobias are playing drums for him tonight.
Yep.
Good stuff, good stuff. And how would you describe your sound?
Uh, I tend to say we're a hardcore band, but like everything hardcore, it's all adjacent to hardcore. So it's that in its base, in its ethos, and I think we're generally we just think of ourselves as a band with aggressive tendencies, maybe
Mhm.
with some odd time signatures and some catchy parts. That's the most rough description I can give of our sound, probably.
Sounds interesting anyway to anyone who hasn't checked you out. Benjamin, would you agree with that description?
I agree, totally agree. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah,
Aggressive, and it's all love, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's all
It's
love.
all love in the end.
Unless we don't like you, though.
Unless yeah, then you'll know.
Fair enough. And your new album, When Does This Place Become Our Scene, is out the 5th of June. How was the recording process for it?
The recording process was fun, difficult, and also very rewarding. I feel like the recording process kind of started when I started making demos, and kind of ended right until the day up until the day that I sent the album off to mixing. It was just like it just continuously worked throughout that whole span of time. So it's just like a lot of the recordings on the album are from the demos. Then we did like lots of drum recordings during a week in like a professional studio. I took all of that, re-recorded stuff, re-recorded guitars, vocals, and just like I pretty much just work on recording up until the final second where I have to just send it off to mixing. So yeah, it was just like I think the first thing recorded is in 2023 actually, and the last thing recorded is in 2025. So it's all throughout that. It's just continuously work kind of.
So it's been 2 and a bit years in the making then, up until
Yeah,
release.
I haven't, and nobody's said that yet, but yeah, it is actually that is a long time. So yeah, I haven't thought of it. It felt like it went so fast because we released our first album like I think we had like the finished mixes for that album, and then I started working on new songs. So it just all kind of became one, I guess. And then all of a sudden we signed to Sergeant House, and oh, we have an album. Oh, we have songs. Okay, I'm sending it to mix now, and then it's being mastered. And oh shit, we're releasing songs. So it just all kind of became one big thing. But it has
It
been
all
a
just
lot.
accumulated.
It really did, yeah. But it has been it has been a surprisingly long time.
I will say I've been listening to your song The Scene a lot in the run up to this interview. It's so catchy. I love it.
Thanks.
How was shooting the music video for that? Because you're on the back of the car for some of it, like.
Yeah. So yeah, the idea for that video was literally just how can we just have this energy and movement throughout the whole video. Like we wanted like a cool set piece with like a cool angle on like some cool location. Okay, get another cool location. Just like start establishing these places on these cool these like this very like green scenery. So we spent a lot of that video shoot outside in our hometown. All of the places are in our hometown, which is a small town outside of Oslo. And yeah, we built this like platform with like a glass on it, so you can stand and shoot up into the sky. And we were on when I walk on this like big hill, that's like an old Viking grave, because we have this big site that's just large Viking graves. And yeah, and I remember the first shoot day we did most of like the platform stuff, and we did the full band performance. And the second day we were going to do the car and the big hill, and it just poured rain for so much of that day. So when I'm on top of that hill, I'm so angry and miserable. It was like I hated it. I remember when we got the last take, I threw my guitar just like as hard as I could down the hill, and I was so done. And then we went and did the pickup car, and sat in the back, and the rain, and yeah, we just got blue skies, and it cleared up, and it's surprisingly relaxing to sit in the back of a car and playing guitar, and Ferdinand playing the drums. It was pretty like kind of serene, and kind of beautiful, just sitting on the back of that car, and vibing with like this really beautiful scenery with like the night sky, and all the grass and everything. So yeah, everything was just done outside, and it was at times wet and kind of miserable. But everybody who worked on that video were so incredibly nice and are so good at what they do. Like they know exactly how to get the shot, and they're so professional, and so like they're very like team spirit. So they kept the morale very high, and we had some coffee, and we had some food, and it was all
It's a
good.
bit it's a bit funny because you say all the time, like every time we've done something, it's always been happening in Horten, the hometown. And we've been saying every single time we've done something there, we say like, let's not go back there. Let's not do it there. And every single time, even though like we're making a video with Sergeant House, and it's back to the hometown once
Yeah,
again.
it
It's
is
like
always like
the
because
tap water video as well.
yeah, it's so we've done so many things there. Like all the old videos are shot in my dad's house in that same town. It is just like when we go there, we know every place, and it's a small place. So if you have 10 locations, you drive 2 minutes, and that's all in your completely different place. So it just comes back to like just use what you know, because as I mean, I can imagine you not knowing what Horten is, a small town in Norway. Like we think of it, oh, it's just like this, oh, it's just this lame town we're from. We just know it so well. It's not exciting. But for anybody who's not been to Norway or that part of Norway, it is a completely new thing. We got like a cool skate park there. We got so much great scenery. We got the Viking like thing going. I mean, yeah, it's been a lot of going back there, and just using that place kind of.
I can definitely relate to the part of like, oh, it's just the town, like, because where I work, it's right beside a big castle in Kilkenny. And I'm like, oh, it's there, like, it's grand. All the American tourists are freaking out over it because they probably have no castles in America. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Definitely, people are freaking out because yeah. I mean, it's very tourists in Horten as well, like freaking out over all the Viking stuff, and we're just like, yeah, this is. I mean, who cares? When we go to the north of Norway, we're like shocked that oh, the scenery is so beautiful. I can't believe you live here, and they're just like, yeah, this is whatever. It's fine.
yeah, it's just a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can both give an answer for this question. Do you have a favorite memory from the recording of the album?
I think if I can go first, I think my favorite memory is the one that wasn't being shot, because we had a idea of putting, like, we were sort of putting every, like, the drummer was on the car driving, Tobias was on this Viking ships being buried, and the original idea for me was to put me on a floating, I don't know what you call it in English, but this, like, on the water, if you are diving from something floating in the water, you know what I mean?
Oh, like a raft.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a raft. Would you have like a diving board or whatever you call it to dive from? The plan was like to put me on one of these with the bass, and like at the end of my performance, I was supposed to like jump out from the raft to the water and like catch some sick stuff. And the weekend was pretty packed, so I was going to work the same night. So I was pretty happy that I didn't have to spend like my whole trip back home soaking wet.
Yeah. I did you mean like a favorite memory from like the recording of the entire album?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
give one for the
yeah,
music video as well. I don't
I
mind.
thought you meant the music video. Sorry, that was what I
Yeah,
was
but
trying to tell.
I know the best, like the memory I immediately thought of was when we recorded drums for a whole week. There was one night where I remember Linkin
And where is
Park.
it recorded, Tobias?
It's also
The
recorded in
hometown.
our hometown. But yeah, I remember Linkin Park had this countdown thing going while we were recording, and our drummer Ferdinand is a huge Linkin Park fan, and Bosse, who's a great friend who helped us record the album, is also a huge Linkin Park fan. So, and I remember that countdown went to 0, and they started playing a show, and Linkin Park had their big return in the middle of the recording at night, and I remember Bosse, who was in the control room, he just stopped everything. Linkin Park is live right now. They're playing songs, and they have a new singer. And we just stop everything. And Ferdinand comes running into the control room, and we just like sit there and we watch this thing, and we're just completely in shock. And we start rewinding it after it's done. And I think we spent 3 hours until the middle of the night just watching that thing back. And Ole, I remember you went home because you're like, I don't care about Linkin Park. I gotta go home and sleep. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta do whatever you had to do. Like, I
yeah.
don't care about this. And we sat there, and, and I remember Bosse even like cracked open some beers, and we sat there like on like the best
He
speaker
did?
in the world, and just like listened back and
Wow.
just reminded her, oh, they're playing that song, and the singer is so good, and like, who is this person? And then we had to record the final drums for that day, and it was just like literally one bar of the simplest beat. Ferdinand just like went in there, played like 2 seconds, said, okay, now we can go home now. But that's like the most immediate memory, just like freaking out over Linkin Park having a big
Big
return.
return.
Yeah, that's a pretty good moment.
Pretty weird
you-
one, yeah.
Are you both big Linkin Parks as well as your drummer?
Not really.
No. I mean, you're a bit more than me though, Tobias.
I can listen to Linkin Park for fun, but I've had this discussion with our drummer many times, because his relationship to Linkin Park is kind of what I have to My Chemical Romance, like one of those gateway bands that you still listen to, that you're still like die hard about, that you still are like, this is like, this album or this song is just so good. So he has that relationship with Linkin Park because he grew up on it. I didn't really. I grew up on like Nirvana and punk things, and then My Chemical Romance. So but I mean, I can appreciate like some Numb, or What I've Done, or even Encore with JC. I mean, it can be fun sometimes, but I'm not that diehard. He and Bosse, the engineer, they're pretty diehard fans, to be honest.
That's fair enough. Benjamin, who would that band be for you? That
I think
gateway
you gotta
band?
go with like my actually Green Day, man. Fucking hell, I was listening to so much Green Day when I was younger. That's where it all started. I think the first bass line I ever learned was like Holiday from Green Day. That's where it all started, man.
And then it was immediately onto Longview.
Then it was long here, that's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
You're all
And
right.
have you managed to catch Green Day?
Oh
live?
yeah, I seen them. I think when I was I don't know the year, but they were playing in Oslo when I was I think like 2011 or something. I was 10 or 11 at the time, I think. And I saw them actually, they were playing tons of rock last year. That's a huge festival a rock festival in Norway. They were headlining. That was like, I mean, you can say a lot of things about them now, but like just to see them, they meant so much to me, through all my, like, through my, what do you say, growing up or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So seeing them was pretty cool. Someone was filming me and I was standing there singing like all the Dookie songs with a backpack and like sunglasses and being like, like going all crazy. So yeah, I felt like a kid again,
And that's the best thing about live music. Like, I
Yeah,
remember the first time I saw Metallica, they would be my gateway band. I
yeah.
was 16, I think, when I saw them for the first time. And they're only coming over for, well, in my lifetime, the second time now. And I'm 23. So
Mm.
it's a big
Nice,
old gap.
nice. Yeah, I saw when was the last time you saw them?
2019.
I saw them a couple of years back. They were also headlining the same festival, and I have to admit that was pretty bad, to be honest with you. That
Pretty
was pretty
bad.
bad. That was pretty bad. The
What do you
sounding and
say?
it was like it. I was so like I never been a huge Metallica fan, but I was always I have respected them and sort of for what they've done and everything. But seeing them now, that was like Lars Ulrich's drumming.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Let's
seeing
talk
James
about it.
Hetfield
Let's
though, that
talk
was
about
pretty
Lars
cool
now.
though.
Let's do 1 hour on Lars. We have to.
Yeah, yeah, do an own
Do a
episode or something.
dissection on it.
But I actually managed to get a pick from them, from the
That's good
crew.
at
So I have
least.
a Metallica pick home.
The best pick in the world.
Yeah,
Going on eBay right now for
it's a huge
5,000
like
euros.
nacho pick actually.
It is. I love
Yeah,
those.
I'll bring it to the rehearsal next time.
That's cool. It's probably Roberts then. The bass
I don't
player.
know. I don't know.
Maybe.
It was from Denmark actually. So
Who
the
knows?
pick. Yeah,
Might be Lars. Might be
yeah,
Lars.
yeah. Who knows?
And in
Okay,
what way
yeah.
was the sound bad? Was it just the mix or just
Everything like the playing itself from especially Lars was like he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
it wasn't
He was just
fair enough?
playing. Yeah, no, he was just playing
But
and like
James is still great.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
and the
James
look of James
still
is
his
yeah, yeah,
voice,
yeah.
his
His
voice is
boss.
like golden, and he is still like such a
He
great player.
was the day after I think he was watching Turnstile with the singer of who was it? The singer of
Oh, the Judas Priest guy, right?
Judas Priest. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Rob Halford.
Rob Halford,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, they were watching Turnstile the next day, and Ferdinand, the drummer, who's not here today, rushed the stage.
Yeah, on
Oh,
Turnstile.
And I have a video of this alone. He
Yeah,
was
on
rushing the
Turnstile.
stage alone. Yeah, with a Hammok shirt actually.
Yeah, trying to like desperate for promotion.
But he's a big
that
fan though of Turnstile. Yeah, just to have said it.
Turnstile are great. I saw them for the first time last November, and it was
Oof.
one of the best gigs I've ever been to. My only complaint was I could barely breathe because of everyone is pushing.
Uh,
Of course. Yep.
nice.
And would that Tons of Rock Festival, would that be kind of the only way international bands come over? Are you popular, like stop for tours?
No, the thing about Norway is there's like a lot of it's hard because of what's the correct word, the
There's there's
border
there's,
control
there's
is
tons of
pretty like
taxes to get into Norway if you're gonna
yeah,
bring merch or you're gonna. I mean, also it's a very long way to travel, and bringing like huge amount of stuff into Norway is super expensive. So I do think that festival has kind of become the most likely way to see like an alternative band in Oslo or in Norway in general. I do think we do get like some pretty big and great artists coming through playing club shows or playing bigger shows here in Oslo, but we do miss out on a lot of certain types of bands because either like we don't have a place big enough for them to play, or it is just too expensive to come here if you are like kind of alternative. And we're also like it is kind of hard selling tickets here sometimes because just certain types of music kind of don't translate here. We're very much into indie stuff or like indie rock things, but things that are more maybe like hardcore leaning or metal leaning kind of gets a bit lost in whatever culture we have. So I remember seeing Military Gun came and played a couple months back, and that's like a big band. I think they're like super hyped, and they're just a great band doing great stuff. And there weren't that many people at that show, which is like super surprising to me. I'm just like guessing everybody's listening to their new album and loving it, but certain things work here and certain things don't. So we do miss out on some bands. Like I don't think Let Live ever went to Norway, which is a shame. Like we barely ever got Every Time I Die or Dillinger Escape Plan or Converge or those types of bands, kind of in this weird like middle thing between hardcore and metal, kind of not really in one place. And Turnstile haven't played here they played that festival, but they haven't played a club show here maybe ever. I don't know really. Like that's before I even knew who Turnstile was.
It was the same when they came over here. Their first concert they played was an arena. They'd never played like a small club show or anything. That was their debut show over here on the Never Enough tour.
That's insane. I mean,
but you can see the same thing with like bands are coming into, like you see so many bands announce like Europe tour, and they go like they just skip Norway.
They skip Ireland as well.
They skip probably the same thing, Ireland and Norway. I can imagine.
Everybody goes to Sweden. Everybody goes to Sweden and Denmark always.
Yeah, and everybody goes to England for you probably.
Yeah. They do. Some of them might even do Belfast, and they won't come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, our biggest problem is we don't have the same as you. We don't really have mid-sized venues. Like we've got really big ones or really small ones. And I know we're one of the most expensive to get insured for.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is just like the whole touring thing now is also very like it's all very unstable. Traveling has become super expensive. So when you are on top of that being like in a country where you're far away and you have like all of those extra things on top, I really see it. But yeah, it is unfortunate sometimes when, especially liking the kind of music that we often enjoy, and your favorite band is like kind of never coming. I remember when Touche Amore played the last time, I was so surprised they came to Norway again. I saw them so many years ago, and I thought this is the only opportunity. But I'm happy they did it, because some bands I just never expect to see in a Norwegian in Oslo at all. So, but some do make it though, and that Touche show was like. It sold out, so that was a huge thing for them.
That's awesome. And Tobias, you touched upon Norway's border being quite hard. I think I remembered a few years ago was Snoop Dogg detained for like 10 hours.
Yep. But that continuously happen. Mentioning again, Military again. They were supposed to play 2 years ago in Oslo, and they were also detained at the border because they had something in their car. I remember he told the story at the gig they actually managed to play a couple months back, and he was just like, yeah, we roll in there, we're in this shitty van, and we're a band, and they ask us what we're gonna do here in Norway, and we say, yeah, we're a rock band, we're gonna play a show, and they're just like, oh yeah, you're a rock band, okay, get out of the car, we're gonna check the entire thing, everything you have in this car is gonna get checked with a dog. Who's gonna sniff out everything you have, and they were on the border. We're gonna get you for like hours, and then they ended up just saying, "Yeah, you're not getting in. Turn around and go the other way." And that was it. So I mean, that happens to a lot of people, and the thing is that we are. I mean, this is a good thing and a bad thing. They are very like fair to whoever you are. So if you are Snoop Dogg, they're not gonna just look the other way because you are one of the biggest rappers in the world. They're gonna have you there for 10 hours and question you and make sure it's done properly. But it is also it does look very ridiculous to the rest of the world when just like people are getting detained all the time.
I just remember the Snoop Dogg. It was shown on TV over here, like funny moments or whatever. And this guy was interviewing Snoop Dogg after he'd gotten released from the border. And your man was like, why are you late? And Snoop Dogg's like, I'm here. Just ask me the questions.
But this is an old interview, right?
Yeah, that's an old one.
I think I remember it as well. It's on the national channel. I think the interview was going on.
Oh yeah, it was a big deal in Norway. Every time somebody like that comes to Norway, everything is just like shut down. This is big thing. A big celebrity is here. They might like us, so we gotta be on best behavior. And then something like that happens, and you're just like, okay, whatever. It's all off the table now.
You can both give an answer for this one as well. If you could collaborate with any musician that are alive, who would it be? And it doesn't have to
Snoop
be for
Dogg.
Hammok. Snoop Dogg.
No,
No,
he's washed up. He's washed up. He doesn't have it anymore. I know my pick. I think it's for me. This is like I've just had this idea in my head for so long, just because I think it would be so interesting. It's never gonna happen, but I love the idea of Jack Antonoff producing an album with us, because I think he's such a insanely good songwriter and producer, and just having him produce a hardcore album, as that is such a fascination for me. I mean, it just I have no idea what would
Yeah.
happen. That is probably my pick for a collaboration.
I
I
wouldn't
think,
write him off. Sorry.
No, he
No,
has
sorry.
so many good like connections, and he's so tapped into alternative music and grew up on everything cool. So I'm sure he would do something super interesting. That's my idea. I think it would be super interesting. Who knows what it would be, but probably very cool.
Jack, if you're watching, hit up Hammok to produce their fourth album, which I'm sure they have written already.
Please do, Jack. I love you so much. I'm gonna see you in Oslo when you come and play with Bleachers. Please respond.
I think a fun collab in some way would be to like do something with JPEG Mafia in some way.
Oof.
I think
He's
would be
scary.
really cool.
Scary though. He's like
Yeah.
the campaign he's doing. He's like going completely psycho and just like
Yeah, I
saying
know.
with
But
all,
it
all
can,
the black leather outfit and a cowboy hat. He just seems like he's on one right now.
yeah, but just doing something with them. Like imagine just being in a room. We're like, okay, we're gonna do something. What is gonna be? And
Oh
just
yeah.
the result of that is gonna be whatever it is. Would have been fun to see.
Oh yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
we'll see it. Maybe we don't.
I
I
mean,
don't
J-Big
know.
Mafia, like, and also like people like the By Storm guys, the Injury Reserve, the new project, like doing something with that type of sound, like
Yeah,
abstract kind of hip hop leaning, but also just like spaced out. That would be so cool. Like all there's such like producer minds, and the sounds they get are so futuristic and so out of band context. So that would
yeah,
be collaborating with that kind of production genius would be really fun.
yeah. Injury reserve is pretty interesting as well.
Yeah.
Good picks, good picks.
Thanks.
And what is the music scene like in Norway, the local music scene?
Uh,
Non-existing.
Not existing. Terrible. No, I mean we're a very small country, so that means that everything that is alternative and niche is like very small, almost just 10 people at sometimes. And I think a lot of our culture just revolves around kind of just very mainstream media things like TV. So if you're on TV, you're kind of a thing, and we do have like the festivals are kind of known for just booking the same type of artists. So being in kind of an underground scene in Norway can feel kind of just like you're in a weird position, like you don't really exist sometimes. So what we've been doing now for the past months is we've started doing these house party shows where we have this huge list of people that we want to invite to the show, and we make a personalized video invite for every person, where I speak their name with a little script with like a location and a time and dates for the show. So everything is very personalized, and we send all of that through DMs on Instagram or Facebook or just SMS or whatever we can get, and we send out like between 150 and 250 of these invites. So it's a ridiculous amount of work, but what we've seen through doing that insane amount of effort is that people are actually very responsive. People show up we send the invites on a Monday and the show is on a Friday, and 70 people show up. which is a pretty insane pull here in Oslo. Like there's not that many people interested in these types of shows, and they're in super weird locations. The first one was in our old practice space, and we essentially just tore the entire place apart. The ceiling came down and the power went out at the end of the show. It was completely insane, but it's working. I think this is the closest we've been to feeling like we have a scene of like-minded people and friends that we can kind of depend on and that are putting effort into what we are putting effort into. So we've just like been going insane about this idea of just bypassing everything that is like posting it and letting the algorithm take it down the toilet and just going directly to people, because everything else is just gonna completely destroy your reach and be kind of, if you're just paying for promoting an event on Facebook, it goes nowhere, and it's kind of just this dead space of no engagement. So making it very personal, and just engaging people on that note, and speaking their name in like this pitched down scary voice with like crazy sound effects, it is kind of scary, and you're being very personally addressed. So people do also feel like the need to at least respond with, yeah, I'm gonna show up, or hey, I can't, I have work or something. So out of every invite, I think everybody's responding to that invite, and that's pretty crazy when you invite people. Like they usually just feel like, okay, I'm gonna press a button that says, yeah, maybe I'll go to this in a month, but I don't really care. Like it's just very passive. So I think it feels like the start of a new way to reach people that is actually working. Like miraculously, it feels like when we show up and we start playing, we're with our crowd of people who care and that are excited to be there and know what's going to happen. Like the first note happens and we have the whole room spinning already, and it's been such a great feeling. And just we've been inviting every band we know in Oslo, in Bergen, throughout the entirety of Norway, and just like trying to get as many people involved as possible so we can just let this whole thing just start spiraling out of control. And hopefully at some point we get invited to a house party ourselves and somebody's doing the same thing just at a different location with a different band, and we've started this whole kind of crazy new way of doing it, not so corporate and not so kind of algorithm driven. I think
You would be credited as the DIY founders of the scene.
that is the crown you want.
And people, when they get these invites, do they reply back with a video or do they just type?
They usually I've never seen like somebody send a video.
We got one guy, a friend of us, a drummer in the band called Honningbarna. If you know the band, it's a great punk band from Norway. He replied with that he couldn't come though, but he replied with a voice chat, and he was like, "No, I can't come. I'm there."
Yeah, he was kind of like doing this like almost Darth Vader like voice, because that is kind of the vibe of the video that I send out. So that's probably the most effort I've ever seen anybody do for to say no, I can't come.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
They have to get on that level then.
Yeah.
Do you both have any favorite album releases of 2026 so far, or any that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to checking out one album that I haven't. That's the new Foo Fighters album. I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet. No, I've seen the tiny disc they just put out, but I'm pretty excited to check it out because I've heard it's pretty like, I don't know. I just heard it's pretty like, rock. You know.
I mean, it's pretty rocky. It is like there are some highlights there. I would say for me, probably my highlight of the year, and this might be maybe not the number one. I will see what happens throughout the year, but the new Underscores album that is the best thing. I love Underscores. I will forever, and this album is so insanely good. The sounds are so vivid and so punchy, and it's just this perfect kind of pop, but also in like a very it just feels very physical, and the production is so detailed and the songs are so good, and the whole campaign and her hair with like it looks like she has like colored in headphones into her hair. I mean, the whole thing is so good, and it's just pop music done in such a great way. It feels like we're carrying the whole Sophie PC music thing in the right direction and making just like the best songs in the world with it. So it just sounds crazy and futuristic, but it's also like written as good as Toxic by Britney Spears. So you're just like progressive, but also just undeniably great. So
And
I think
iconic.
and very iconic. It all feels like such a great package, and the songs are like absolute bangers. And I remember I went to a Danny Brown show in March, and the DJ who opened, he played one of those singles for the new Underscores album, and I remember the crowd reacted so insanely because the mix out of the PA on one of those songs were so insanely punchy. They just stood out from everything he played. He had a DJ set for like 40 minutes, and the one Underscore song he played was like the hardest song, the hardest kick of the whole night was that song. And that is very impressive to do, like get an entire crowd responding because your kick sound is just the best. So yeah, that's a big one for me.
Awesome. And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to start a band in 2026?
Oh,
Damn. Yes, I do. Uh, I feel like I do. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about what it is to start a band now versus 15 or 10 years ago. And people often talk about 15 or 10 years ago, you started a band because you had a guitar, you knew somebody who had a guitar or played some instrument or wanted to do something with music, and you got in a room and you were excited because, hey, we're doing this together and we're just making sounds and we're making music, and oh shit, we wrote a song. That's really cool. Okay, can we write two more? Okay, we should play a show. Okay, we're gonna set up a show. Where can we play? Our local venue. Let's just put up a show there, and you just do all of that, and it's just based on being excited about doing the thing. And I'm seeing a lot of people talk about now starting a band. Before you've written your first song, you're thinking of branding. You're thinking of your content style, your visual style, how you're gonna look on TikTok, and how you're gonna get engagement, and not waste your time with like doing wrong things, or you're putting out only singles because that's a smart thing to do. All of these like very technical things, and I think just doing it, being a small group of people who are just excited to make sounds and make stuff, not really thinking about what it is you're making, how it's going to be perceived, how you're going to brand it or film it or do whatever. Just being excited about doing it, because that is what keeps everybody going right now. Everybody's pretty fed up with how the internet works when you're an artist. It's all very, very expensive to tour. It's all of these things, but we're still doing it because we're still inspired because of the very basic thing, making a sound, making a song, playing it to people and getting a response. So I think that is just my biggest thing for me as well. Still is just focusing on the close proximity of what you can touch and what you can see and the people you can look in the eye. And everything will hopefully just come from that. Hopefully. Or not.
yeah.
Who
I think
cares?
it's
Do it for the love of doing it. That is essentially what I'm saying, I think.
I totally agree with you, Tobias. And if you don't have that love for what you do, and you don't believe in what you do, and like control what you can control, and that's the vision of what you want to make. If you don't have the love for that, you'll never survive anything.
Yeah.
That's coming for you.
Nothing.
Yeah,
You won't survive.
and really be a try hard. Just try
Yeah.
extremely hard, because that's all you got. Just believe in it and try really hard. That's the most like, don't stop believing. Let's get this party started today in the
Yeah.
world.
Don't
It's
stop believing.
very like sitcom inspirational, but it is kind of true. Like
Yeah, the motivation has to come from inside, I guess, and you have to do it for yourself and not be like not for anybody else.
yeah, and just like if you are very inspired and you believe in what you do, hopefully that translates to somebody else in their life and they believe in themselves to do something as well. We've often been we're very here in Norway. I think people look at us like we're crazy sometimes because we very much openly believe in what we do, and we think our own songs and our own band is like a great band. We really really believe in this, and I think culture in Norway is usually very timid about shouting your truth at the top of a building and claiming to be sort of like great at something. But I do think that is a very positive way of translating just inspiration to other people, just believing in what I do, and just making people feel empowered through just the inspiration of doing things in the real world, kind of.
I get that. Like, I used to be in a band, but unfortunately life got in the way and all that, and I started interviewing bands instead. But for every
Not too bad
milestone,
though.
not too bad. And when I started interviewing bands, every single band that I got to talk with, I tell people like, "Oh, I'm talking to so and so." They'd be like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "They're like one of the biggest bands in like the underground scene at the minute," and it'd be like such a big thing for me. But I guess people like us, like outsiders, don't get it. Like when you book your first gig or whatever, it's such a big thing to you, but others might not get it.
Yeah, it is. It is a lesson in just knowing your circle, and just having the possibility to just be your own superhero, just be within your own feedback loop and just get high on your own supply.
Be the main character.
Be Superman for yourself sometimes, and all of a sudden you meet some people who give a shit about your thing, and you're super surprised, and that just feeds you for 6 months because one person gave a shit about your new song or your show or whatever. Yeah, it is very much just keep moving forward and keep the energy up.
Like, I'm sure it's surreal for you guys, for people to come up to you and be like, "Oh, your music rocks," or whatever. Like, "I love this song that you made." Like, it makes
Yeah.
you feel like rock stars.
I mean, it is also just the nicest thing in the world that if somebody does like go out of their way and just like actually engages with you in a very real way, that is always just the most positive thing, because I know what it takes to kind of do that, and to go up to a person and be just like, "I need to tell you that I really really love what you do," and to the people that I try to do that with everybody I really really admire, and just and let them know that I understand you, I see you, I see the thing that you do, and I think we have this shared experience here. So that is always just such a fantastic thing when somebody sees a show and really
Yeah,
to do that. It means a lot.
we've always done the same thing ourselves. Always like talking about a couple of years back, we did this with the Mars Volta. So
Yeah, that was
you know
scary.
how it is, how scary that was
The
backstage
Mars
in the
Volta when
Netherlands.
Cedric
And
Yeah.
Fixler.
Ferdinand
Oh
spilled some
God.
drinks on
We
the,
talked to Cedric and or you know what? We didn't talk. We played the same festival, and they were at the backstage at the same time as us, and we were freaking out. I was sweating, and I was just like having a mental breakdown.
you were freezing, Tobias. You was like you were in ice, like you freezed.
I was completely frozen,
And
and
Cedric was coming towards us, and I was looking at Ferdinand. And I was too afraid, so I punched Ferdinand, the drummer, in the arm, and I said, "Do something, do something." And he goes like, turns around to be like, "Hey, Cedric!" Like they've known each other for like many years or something. So Cedric turns around and he's like, you know. And Ferdinand goes like spills his beer on him, and he's like, "Hey
oh, he
man,
didn't
what's your
spill
beer?"
air on him. Don't no. He goes and leans up to or just like reaches out his hand to shake Cedric's hand, and while he's shaking Cedric's hand, he has a bear in his arm, and he starts pouring the bear out into the grass, and Cedric
Oh.
like he looks like he's just like having a stroke or something. So Cedric is just like, "Yeah, hey, what's your beer, buddy?" And he just says goodbye, and he walks off. And it was,
And it,
Is it
when I was looking at you, Tobias, it looked like you were time traveling, like you were out of your mind. Like there was a total black. You were not here. You just like you freezed out from this whole thing.
I did say that like if I'm gonna talk to either Omar or Cedric, I need to be, it can't be just like I'm a little kid and they are God and I'm talking to them. It needs to be more of a we're in a similar kind of place.
Yeah.
I just can't be that much of a fanboy.
Not for me and Ferdinand though.
They're essentially God. right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
can't talk to God. I have fear of God, like you should have. Fear of God is how it's supposed to be. That's Catholic. I'm not
Yeah.
Catholic, but that is how it's supposed to be. And so I don't talk to the Marsfolk.
Point taken. Yeah.
Were they scary? Like, Cedric strikes me as a really scary guy.
I mean, the things he say online, he is very like passionate, and I saw the documentary about Omar and Cedric, and they are like, they're aliens. So I don't really know how to approach that. I'm too scared. They're too much of an alien thing for me. I admire them too much. They're not human. They're something else, and that makes me
They're
freak out.
AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're the opposite of AI. They're completely the opposite. They're just like they're from Mars or something. Oh, okay, that's a pun not intended very much. So yeah, but yeah,
I saw his other band at the drive-in open for Royal Blood, and I really enjoyed them. Like, I'm not that big on the Mars Volta. I really hope he gets at the drive-in back at some stage.
yeah. I mean, at the drive-in, the Relationship of Command album. That is one of the biggest inspirations we can have. Like, that is forever gonna be inspiring. And the first three Mars Volta albums, or the first four, all of them. Jesus Christ! I mean, there's such an interesting, just that duo is just so otherworldly, and just seeing them up close. And we saw the show, of course, when Mars Volta played, and it was such a it's a very special dynamic, and that's been inspiring for like 15 years now. It's never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out your evening to chat with me.
Thanks
No
so
worries.
much.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, no problem. And When Does This Place Become Our Scene is out the 5th of June.
Oh yeah.